Who could do something like this? Who would do this to my beautiful, beautiful flat world? How could they do something like this? How? I guess we are about to find out. This goes on forever. Why would they do this? What? What is this thing? What is this thing? Well, I guess we are going to find out together. Yes, we fly across the beautiful, beautiful flat world, leaving a trail of destruction in our path. And a water grave to anyone who dares fight back. I don't know exactly what this does, but it makes an ocean, and anything that can make an ocean is super cool. Wow, I just completely missed. But yes, this flying machine builds an ocean as it goes, and in this another Minecraft episode, I will be showing you how to build this thing. This is a scalable build, but when you make it bigger, sometimes part of it falls off. As you can see, some of it sort of fell off because I have like a random piece here. So the machine sort of falls apart as it goes. But you can make it as big as you want. It'll just make itself smaller as it goes. Yeah, it'll do that. And it is not symmetrical, but for those of you who need it to be symmetrical, you can this doesn't have to be 100% exact. You can adjust this to make it completely symmetrical. And to stop it, you just need to place a block of obsidian on the end here. You can destroy that. And if you want to make it go again, you just need to update this observer. An easy way to do it is using a flint and steel, and then it'll keep going. If you want to ride it, you sort of have to use a boat. Just place a boat on top of this. Yeah. Just destroy it. Destroy the obsidian, ignite it, jump in the boat, and boom, you're off to destroy the world. But yes, let's get right into the tutorial. First thing you're going to need is some just building blocks. Well, you're gonna need a few things. You're gonna need an observer. Not an observer. You're gonna need observers. Just get about a stack of everything I say, and it'll probably be about right. You might need a little more than a stack of slime blocks, depending on how big you want to build this. I'm not exactly sure how big I'm going to be building it, but that's just to show you how scalable this is. And I am loving the new character creator. I made this character. Yep. Really weird character. But yes, you're going to need some building blocks, some slime blocks, some observers, some sticky pistons. You're going to need one regular piston, fence posts, or half slabs, or just about anything that can be waterlogged except for stairs. Stairs will not work for this. But yes, anything that's waterloggable, I will be using fence posts. And you're going to need a lot of water. Buckets of water work best. Using ice for this can be complicated. So yes, just get as far away from the previous one as you can. You're probably not going to have a previous one if you're following this tutorial, but figure out which direction you want to go and make sure to line it up with whatever you want to cover in water. Or if you just want to ride it to the far lands and watch the world burn, that's fine too. and just build up as high as you want this to be. It can be as high as you want. I'm gonna build it like 30 blocks up. Let's see. Some of this feels really, this whole new character feels really glitchy because I adjusted the height of the character, so the entire character model is off. So yes, you're just going to want to build it as long as you want. Alternate between your structural block and slime blocks. The first block needs to be a structural block. Just alternate between those as far as you want to go. This is scalable, and so I will not be showing you exact how to do this, but I will just be giving you a general idea of how exactly you need to build this. You can follow exactly what I'm doing if you want to, then you'll come out with the exact machine that I'm doing. But yes, the first and last blocks need to be a structural block. Now, the side that you don't want it to go, this machine will be going in that direction. So place blocks against the slime blocks like this, more structural blocks. Just do all that. And next thing, you're gonna need your waterloggable block. I'm going to be using fence posts, like I said. Place it on top of the slime blocks. Why can I not place it on top of the slime block? For those of you who don't know, I am playing on the Switch, so this is really difficult. It's a nightmare to even get Minecraft to open on this Switch, so building with it is difficult. And for each, this is a modulated design, and it eventually funnels into a single engine. The piston push limit is 12 blocks, so you need to make sure not to exceed that in any one module. So you can you want to place a sticky piston facing into each slime block. And you can only have 3 per module. So that's something to watch out for. Go down 2 blocks and don't destroy the bottom block. Destroy the middle block. And place an observer. Make sure it's facing upward. Yep, do it like that. Underneath each piston, you're going to need an observer. Just like that. That should do it. And once you do that, you want to separate, to put some space in between the next three bits. Because each module needs to be 12 blocks or less, so it's just 1 block too much to be able to carry 4 of these blocks. So you end up doing that. Just do this over again and again. Just keep doing like this. Make sure the observer is facing upward. If it's not facing upwards, it will not work. It needs to be facing into the slime block here. And it doesn't have to be divisible by 3, but it's just better if it is the amount of blocks that you have, so it just looks better that way. Yeah. This is something you would think that you would get in the rhythm of once you start doing it a lot, but I still have not gotten used to doing this over and over again. I have not decided on any one order in which I want to build this machine. But I do find it best to okay, like I was saying, I find it best to start from the front so that you know what size it's going to be. Yeah, just go ahead and finish that, and now you need to start funneling it back into one engine. Wow, Pillager Patrol. That's the first time I've seen those. Huh. But yeah, so you need to start funneling it in. I decided to make it 4 modules instead of 3 now because symmetry. And I'm sorry that this episode is going up a little late. You're probably thinking that I was probably doing some Halloween something, but no, I was putting my Christmas tree up. Yes, Christmas on Halloween. But yes, just use the same sort of design to funnel it backwards into one closer area. Yeah. It's actually really simple once you realize how exactly it works. And, and you need to make sure this is on Java. This design, actually I do believe it would work, but it would require some minor modifications to work on Java, because you'd have to, when you fired it, you would definitely have to make sure that these were not touching, or rather that they were touching. It'll work. Yeah, you need to make sure everything is clumped together. This exact design I do believe would work on Java, but on Java you don't need a regular piston. Like I said, you need one regular piston. On Java, that piston can be a sticky piston. And theoretically, this flying machine would be a 2-way flying machine on Java, but actually it would be a 2-way flying machine, but actually no, it would not work 2 ways. Never mind, forget what I said. Yes, this design would work on Java. It would work perfectly on Java. Wait, no, not like that. So yes, this tutorial I am playing in Bedrock, but this design would work in Java too. This is not my original design. This was originally designed by Mumbo Jumbo, but I have made some modifications to it so that it works on Bedrock, and also it's much faster. His used a much slower engine, so it caused less lag. Probably worked better, but and you need to make sure that these aren't too far apart. This could be bad. It could be that they're too far apart. Let's see, 2 for the piston observer, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, yes, that's too far. So we need to, sorry, this will not be symmetrical at all. I was correct the first time. Wait. How will this work? I am confused. Let's just put that back in. It will not look good, but this machine is for griefers, and griefers, some griefers intentionally make things look bad so that they mess up other people's worlds. So, happy ending. This update, I thought this update was supposed to be fixing bugs, but it's buggier than ever. Or is that the next update that's fixing all the bugs? I'm not sure. But yes, that could be a problem. This is going to be a bit larger than my other flying machine, and the flying machine sort of falls apart after a while, so it doesn't really matter how big you make it. Eventually lag. Well, it might, if you're not doing this on the Switch, it might work better, but I'm doing this on the Switch, so there's a lot of lag, which means a lot more chances for this to go wrong. But if it works on the Switch, that means it'll work on anything, even if you have the worst computer in the world, which many of you do, I'm sure. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's as big as it can be, so let's just cut it in the middle so that it works. I believe this will work. If not, you will not. If this doesn't work, you will not hear a word that I'm saying because I'm going to have to redo this entire thing, so it does not matter. Well, it does matter because I'm going to make this work. I'm going to find a way because I don't want to have to do this again. Oh, yeah, the lag. So let's just sort of make that come close in the middle. And now, I believe this should about do it. Ah yes, now I'm using pistons as scaffolding. What a switch. Yes, this machine is actually really simple to build once you know what you're doing. But yes, even if you run into a problem like that, you can fix it. I am figuring out how to make this machine even better as I am doing it, and this looks so much cooler than my last one. Now for the engine. This is where you need a regular piston if you're doing this on Bedrock. I can't guarantee that this works on Java, so sorry. But yes, I actually came up with this engine myself, but it has become a very commonly used engine, and I came up with it before I had a YouTube channel, so I claim no rights to this engine. So, yeah. But I actually came up with this engine with no other help, so I'm proud of myself for that. But yes, now the entire thing is done. Now, if it's different than this, you might have to do something else, like you might have to build the engine a little bit lower, like I did on my other flying machine. It didn't come out quite this perfectly, so I had to put like an extra sticky piston and observer, like this. Not like that. Like this. Regular piston, or no, observer. Regular piston. And then you put that and that. This is how you'll probably have to do it if you're not being 100% symmetrical. And wow, there's so much lag. And yes, that is the entire flying machine done. Well, no, it is not. Now you're gonna need water. You might have to make a bunch of trips up and down if you're doing this with buckets. If you have ice, what you can do is you can remove the fence post, place down ice, break the ice, and then place the fence post. And you might be wondering why you need these extra blocks on the edge. You might be able to just cut that out to make it work better, but no. The water needs to spread over this direction. And wow, this update is the glitchiest ever. That's the oak fence texture expanded. But no, you cannot do that. It will not work. So you need a block here so that it spreads out evenly. But yes, just fill in all the water, ignore the glitchy textures. Yep, once this is all filled in, that will be the entire flying machine said and done. And it looks really, really cool. If you want to ride it, you might think you could just stand on top of it because this is the Bedrock edition and you can stand on top of blocks. Or if you're on the Java and playing around the snapshots, or in the future, in the future when you're watching this, honey blocks might already be out. You think you might just be able to slap a honey block down and stand on it? Well, no, I don't think that will likely not work. I don't know about in the future, but currently just standing on the block doesn't work because as the flying machine flies, you glitch through the bottom of these blocks and then you land on this slime block. You will glitch back and forth from on top of this block down back to underneath it over and over again, and eventually you will land on the slime block, and when this piston pushes the slime block, you will get launched forward and off the machine. So what you're going to want to do is place a boat down and make sure that the boat is, make sure to position the boat how you want it before you actually start moving. And how you're actually going to get onto this, how you're going to activate this and then get onto it in survival mode is beyond me, so just letting that be known. Yep, make sure the boat is pressed up against the back. And you can, if you want to, you can like turn the boat this way, so that you can see both the machine and where you're going and off into the random distance. But to start it flying, you just need to update this observer right here. And boom. Did it really leave behind part of the flying machine, or are those phantom blocks? Oh, that's part of the flying machine. Okay, that's annoying. But yes, lag causes that to happen, so gotta watch out for that. And the entire machine disappears and reappears over and over again, so flaws like that are to be expected. You might want to just patch up all the missing bits and yeah, just pretend like nothing ever went wrong. It's more trial and error to make the machine not leave something behind. The bigger it is, the more likely it is to break, so be warned of that. But yes, you can just patch it up and send it flying again. If it falls apart again, I might just give up. Oh, need to make sure to destroy that obsidian block. Phantom blocks. Huh, that's weird. Oh wow, I did not put observers in certain spots. Hold up. I'm gonna fix that. If I could just place some obsidian down. Yes, you need to make sure that there are observers where they need to be. Otherwise, the machine won't work. But cases like that will happen even if you build it correctly, because it's really weird. Sometimes just stuff decides it doesn't want to obey the laws of physics in Minecraft, the non-existent laws of physics. Well, there are laws, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, if that happens, you just want to make sure you have observers in all the right spaces, because the observers are actually what caused this thing to go. They are the power source, and placing an observer in that spot's going to be difficult. There. Boom. Perfection. And, whoa, that is... You see, this game is just so beautiful. You get really weird stuff like that all the time. It's amazing. And and crazy stuff like this. All kinds of crazy stuff everywhere. And now, for the third time, we can send this machine off, and it will work. Hopefully. Yes, it builds an ocean, and it travels faster than you think, because this engine is actually, this, I believe, is the fastest engine, the fastest slime block engine possible in the Bedrock edition. And in the Java edition, I believe there's only one engine that's faster than this, or they could be the same speed, I'm not sure. But, yep. And if you want to ride your machine, just jump in the boat. Imagine you're flying over someone's build, just carrying an ocean behind you. Oh yeah, I got an ocean in the trunk of my car. I hope you don't mind it spilling on your build. And I hope that awesome new castle is waterproof. Oh wow, I got out of the boat. You see, that is why you can't stand on it. And you also need to make sure not to move where'd the boat go? Oh wow. The boat fell out too. Yeah. If it is moving and you move the boat, or get out of the boat, or stand on it and move, you see, if you decide to move the boat, just like spin around, you glitch, and that happens. Yeah, I glitched through the floor one time trying to reorient my boat so that I could see, but to no such luck. And eventually really weird stuff will happen, like it'll try to move into unloaded chunks. Like, you see, it causes stuff like this to happen, like unloaded chunks, and as you fly, you just eventually, this thing flies faster than the chunks load, because all the particles and moving textures in the water causes it to be laggy, and the loading doesn't go fast enough. So eventually, you will hit something, like the edge of the chunks, and it'll just stop for a minute, and then it'll keep going. Once the chunks load, it'll keep going, so if your machine just randomly stops, it's probably fine. And sometimes, like you might have seen in the beginning of the video, I can't remember, like part of the machine just falls off, but the rest of it keeps going, and there's like no reason why it should fall off. I think it's due to asymmetry. The machine doesn't like being asymmetrical, so it decides to leave behind the part that makes it asymmetrical. Or it could be that part of the machine goes into unloaded chunks, or the chunks don't load fully, become stop being entity processing chunks or something like that, and part of the flying machine just stops existing while the rest of it keeps going. And why do the piston heads still load? Has anyone ever questioned that before? Whoa. This is insane. But yes, that is how you make this super crazy ocean builder in Minecraft Bedrock Edition and Java Edition. I believe this will work in Java Edition, no promises. What happens if you stand on the... oh. Well, you're dead if you try to stand on the boat. You know, in some situations, it might be simpler to just, rather than riding the machine, it might be simpler or better to just follow the machine on a boat. You just have a crazy flying machine going, and oh wow. Yep. Oh. Well, that's just Minecraft for you. It's insane. Oh, you gotta try to avoid those craters. What? Ah! I'm not good at riding boats. But apparently the machine just leaves like random craters. I believe any block update would fix that. But you can't really update the block that well. Oh, and you see, this is what I'm talking about. Are these phantom blocks or real? Oh, those are phantom blocks. Well, sometimes cases like that happen, but rather than just phantom blocks being left behind, it also leaves behind the real blocks. What? I just fell through the entire machine. That's insane. Yeah, you can't really ride this machine, that's why I mentioned the boat, but that's about all there is to it, and yep, that's about all I have for today. As always, this has been The Brain. How to make an ocean builder in Minecraft. This has been The Brain, signing off. Goodbye.